Well, what a season it's been for the Gold Diggers, and for me personally, both on and off the pitch, for obvious reasons. Have to say, on a non-Wessex League front, it's probably the most stress-free season I've had in terms of supporting Everton in the last 5 years. Shown for Laura, hasn't it? I've been less stressed the last 3 months. So long may that continue, but yeah, it's been a great season for me overall. Got my Footballogy app. Matt loves this app, so I'm going to bore him with some stats. 88 matches I've seen this season. Didn't quite reach the 100, but obviously I'm a dedicated family man now, aren't I, Laura?
Of course.
So yeah, 88 games. I have seen 45, visited 45 grounds, which is good. 16 new grounds. And surprisingly, my most seen team is Livington, 11 times. I thought it would be a push between Livington, New Milton and probably Stoneham again, who were my most seen team last season. But yeah, 288 goals, can't complain. Highest score was Hanley Rec 7, Wincanton 2.
I got that one though.
So, on to Matt's questions now. To give this some thought because my memory is a bit hazy before the games for Christmas, but there are a couple of games that stand out. Both of them were before Christmas actually. The Hamble versus Fareham game was a brilliant day out. First visit to Hamble, great little ground it was. Superb burger. It was one of the best burgers I've had this season. But it was actually a really good game of football. Fareham won 4-2. But it was a really good end-to-end game. Could have been a few more goals for either team. Red card. Superb day out. But another game that stands out for me was probably Livington versus Frimley Green. Because we went there, I think, end of November. One of the only games that was on that day due to the weather. And Livington actually won that 4-3. What a fantastic game that was. That could have been 6-all in the end. But Livington, great start. They were 4-1 up at one point, and I think no one in the ground could believe that score because Frimley were flying at that time. And they pulled it back to 4-3, but Livington really dug in the last 20 minutes. And what a great atmosphere it was in the stand, especially Connor's nan. She must be their #1 fan, but yeah, that was a cracking game. So they'd be my top 2 this season.
My favourite game of 24-25 season, there's 2 I can think of. There was a very wet day up at Downton when they drew 3-3 with Cows. It was an end-to-end game, but the weather was absolutely horrendous. I mean, the pitch could was actually soaked through. It could easily have been called off at half time, but their guys carried on playing out there. Cows went into a 3-1 lead, and then Downton pinned them back in the second half to a 3-all draw. Very exciting stuff. Sort of blood and guts and thunder on a very muddy non-league pitch. But my actual game of the season, it came from the AEC Protection Ground, which is home of Romsey Town. It was Romsey Town drawing 4-all Fleetlands. What a game that was. Not a lot happened really for the first 20 minutes of it, but then after 20 minutes, Romsey took the lead through Marche and Marcinkowski, and it sort of exploded into life from there. They were 4-2 up at that point. It looked like they could be going on for the win, but Fleetlands then got 2 goals very late on. Ollie Page was a lovely lob, and then Nathan Gray with a very late equaliser. And that's the second time on this vlog in 2 seasons that one of my favourite games has been a 4-all draw with Romsey.
Right, my favourite goal. I have seen 288 of them this season, so my memory's not the best, but there's a couple that stand out just off the top of my head without going through every game or rewatching every vlog, and I'm terrible with players' names, by the way, so the goal, it wasn't a Wessex League game, it was actually the Dorset Premier League teams when we went to Swanage in March, when the Dorchester Sports Fair. What a goal that was, great turn. Now to do is from 25 yards. Definitely, probably the best goal I've seen the team. But another one that gives a special mention was at Follen Sports, where I believe Ainsbury Town scored their second. What a goal that was. Nearly missed it on the camera as well, because I was a bit late filming the throw-in and I didn't expect it.
A lot of good goals we've seen this season. Well, I've gone for 3 choices here, and 2 of the reasons is just what they contributed for the team on that day. The first one being Brad Stennon's 90th minute header against Hamworthy United. Brody Morse crossed it into the box, and they'd just been pegged back to 2-all quite late in the game, and that was the goal that won them the league. The next one's Lewis Williams' winner for Andover New Street against Henor Town in the FA Vase. Probably one of the biggest games in the club's history. There was over 900 people there. The game was a bit nervy and a bit tense, and it was a great cutback by Griffiths, and he's just put into the top corner. It's an absolutely brilliant goal. But overall, while those goals were important, the goal of the season, just for genuine technique, has got to be Dylan Hacon's goal against Cow Sports when we went over to the yard. Absolutely belter. Pulled it from about 25 yards out. Hat and the Cows goal had no chance. That's my goal of the season.
Favourite ground visited, again, I have to go back to Hamble. That was a great afternoon out. A ground you can easily get to by train as well, literally right by the train station. Although I drove that day, but yeah, great ground, good little clubhouse, very friendly people there. And obviously yellow is my favourite colour, so I like the stand and obviously the Hamble kit. But they also did a great promotion, I think ticket, burger and a drink for a tenner, which was fantastic, considering the burger was amazing. And another ground I also have to give a mention was Wincanton Towns. That was done earlier on in the season, although it was a bit of a drive from here in Highcliffe. Great settings there, and I really love the quirky facilities they've got there, especially the canteen area, the massive ceilings and the sort of see-through roof glass. I can't remember what it was, but and also the walk to the ground was nice, through a nice little allotment, through a little archway, ground there, nice little stand. It was a lovely day for it as well. And that was quite a good game of football as well. So they're the 2 that stand out for me.
So for favourite ground, I'm going to go with 2 new teams we did this year that we haven't done before. The first being Alton. We saw them play in the Combined Counties League, sort of early January sort of time. Like their ground. 2 good stands, one for sitting, one for obviously terracing across the other side. Also had a scoreboard, which you don't see a lot at this level. Can't even really think of Portchester off the top of my head, who have a scoreboard at their ground. 4G pitch down there as well, which is always a good thing, I think, coming in for non-league clubs. It gives you that extra access for funding for, you know, just letting people use it during the week when you haven't got a game on. The second one is a visit to Swanage Town and Hersham Football Club. I really enjoyed the day. Lovely trip down to the seaside. Took all around the town and that before the ground. But what I like about the ground itself is it's quite quirky. It's got a very nice clubhouse there. You've got the stands up on one side, going up a bit of a hill on that side. And then you've got benches behind the goal out in the open where people could sit and watch the game from there.
players of the season. Again, I'm terrible with players' names. I have seen some good players this season, some good performances. I can't look any further than my current local club at the moment, New Milton. I've seen a lot of them this season, and that up front line pairing of Brad Snelling and Barney up front, you can't go wrong with those two. I think they've both been fantastic all season, and from what Brad's done in terms of his career, fantastic. I can see him tearing it up in the Premier Division next season. And also, young Barney Stone, what can you say about him? He's literally the Rooney, Wessex Rooney as I call him. He scored some great goals when we've seen Milton do this season, and he's going to go on to much better things. It'd be fantastic if Milton can get him to stay on next season, and they have a real chance of ruffling a few feathers at the top of that league. Any teams want me to give me some merch next season, I'll happily haul myself out, and I'll get Matt to haul some of his merchandise out next season as well. So hope you enjoy this little end of season vlog, and we will see you in July for some pre-season friendlies. Bye bye.
Players of the season, I've gone for 3 again. First is Tyrrell Sampson. I think he's been absolutely brilliant at Stoneham this year. He's really stepped up from last season. He was good then as well, to be fair. He's scored 34 goals, I think, from out wide. Brilliant. He sets up chances, he puts them away. I just think watching his growth from when we first seen him play in Milton to where he's gone to now has been brilliant, and I wish him the best of luck at Poole Town next season in the Southern Premier League. The next player I thought he's had a really good season, the goalkeeper actually. I think he's been crucial to the success of his team over the course of the season. Henry Newman at Handball Club. Handball made the playoffs, semi-finals, unlucky to lose in that, but he's pulled off some crucial saves in the games I've seen him play, and a double save he pulled off in the League Cup final against Portchester just shows how important he is to their team. The actual player of the season, I'm going to go for Lewis Williams of Andover, with 40 odd goals. That winning goal I've mentioned before in the FA Vase quarter final. He's got himself a move off the back of this season to Dorchester Town in the Southern Prem, so best of luck to Lewis there. And I think for what he gave to Andover this season, just with pace and power and goal scoring, the sort of cherry on top of the icing on the cake has been their brilliant season. So just want to say thanks to everyone who watches these, and thank you for accepting us into your community. We hope to see you all again next season, and we'll be doing a few friendlies over July.
That's in the wash.
What do you think, Grace? Have you enjoyed the season?